Yes, my friends, there is great fear this morning between Cameramandi and I that this episode is cursed. Yes, cursed! Apparently, Cameramandi's cellular phone is non-functional. It is a Google Pixel. She spent thousands of dollars upon it. Yes, completely non-functional. And then, I have somehow forgotten my cellular phone and did not even bring it. So logging into Twitch is impossible. Yes, impossible. Then, beyond this, there is a fly in the studio. Yes, a disgusting fly that continues to fly around, right in my face, in Cameramandi's face. And this is the beginning of the book club episode, which say good morning, cameraman.
Hello. So basically, this morning.
Hello, friends.
Yes, we were having I'm so excited for this episode. Let me just start by saying I'm so excited for this episode. I'm not
cursed or not, cameraman.
Yeah, cursed or not, I am so excited because we are starting the Wy'rd book club.
The Wy'rd book club.
The Wy'rd.
The Wy'rd book club. Yes, the Wy'rd book club. Yes, that thing.
Yes, so I'm not able to directly respond back to everyone on Twitch, but I am reading all your comments because I have Twitch open to this live stream. Basically, everything is two-factor authentication on my phone, and my phone, the new Google Pixel 6, which has been the most cursed, bug-ridden phone.
Cursed. See, we are cursed. We are cursed.
And it's decided to act up this morning, and I cannot get it to restart, and my husband is not here to fix my technical stuff. I know.
And of course, I am not really technical, my friends. It is not my way. Yes, it's unfortunate. And so Cameramandi is not really... Actually, I can't take that. Cameramandi, you're pretty technical. I got to take that back.
There are certain things I'm very technical on, but there's a reason why Adam is my other half. So we'll just put it that way.
We all love Adam. Yes, this is my former apprentice, Bartholomew. Some of you know this tale.
Yes.
He offended me.
Adam's in the comments saying, hit the buttons, push more buttons. And trust me when I say, we push the buttons.
We have pushed the buttons.
We pushed
anyway. Adam, we have pushed the buttons. You have no idea. We have punched and pushed, and I almost threw it across the room. Yes, but I was worried about Cameramandi's phone being destroyed irreparably after that, so I did not do it.
Yes, so because we do not have any two-factor authentication, I cannot get into MooBot for us to actually...
MooBot? What is MooBot?
MooBot is how we do our giveaways. So we can't do any giveaways.
Yes, we can. I have a secret method.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, and that damn fly, it's here again. Listen, we need spooky music for Cameramandi, like when it's cursed, right? It needs to have right, something like that. Yes. And anyway, we are going to do our best with much hampering, if you will. And perhaps it was tampering. Yes.
Everyone's asking if I've tried to restart it, and I've held that power button. Everyone should know.
Give me the damn Google Pixel.
It is gone. It is gone.
What
it is in the. I put it in the office because I couldn't silence it. I couldn't silence the phone, so it's in the other office. It just is what it is. Just know that we love you, and we're gonna have a great show. And I'm so excited to tell you guys about this book club.
It's exciting.
I'm so excited to do our social media because we had so much good stuff.
And I showered this morning, and that damn fly is still flying around me.
And I hate that fly. Anyway.
Anyway, no, we are actually very excited for today. This is the thing we are going to begin, and I have been pondering for some time how to make the lore more accessible, right? How to bring it more to you, right? And to many, right? Because there's a lot, right? And so the discussions that we have had are how do we do this and all of that stuff. And this is the impetus behind Cameramandi's book club. Yes. So we are going to actually talk about certain things that we're going to read for the next episode. So folks can check them out ahead of time, take some notes, do all of that kind of stuff as they wish, or do nothing and just enjoy the discussion around the lore. And we actually believe Zyathe's lore is pretty compelling and has been helped by many of you. And so we are very excited to do this little book club thing that we're going to do. I'm going to do some readings as part of it, but I'm not going to read a lot. I'm just going to read passages and certain things. And then we are also going to hopefully expand this, where we are going to have, for each book club segment, a couple, 3 guests every... I know that thing is flashing, isn't it? See, it is cursed. Did you see that thing flashing?
I know, because I couldn't find the remote for it this morning, and that was what I was going to be finding while... Oh, I know exactly where it is,
look at this. Carrie gave me this.
Yes.
Thank you, Carrie. You are marvelous. We appreciate it. This is wonderful. It's a new edition. And over my shoulder, you can see the marvelous thing that, this marvelous artwork that Michelle made for us, which now adorns the office. And right next to it is one of Mark's Gooey Cubes. And there are many things all over the place. Of course, little Gooby, right, is right here, right? And William and Crystal gave us this Gooey Cube. And of course, there is the marvelous Alphinius bust without a hat. Yes, and there are many other things here that we are thankful for all of our friends who have given little gifts to us to put in the studio and into our office here. So anyway, so we're very excited about this. We're still going to do social media, and Camera Mandy and I are actually looking into having a new company that's actually called Gooey Cube Media. And if we do Gooey Cube Media, we think we can do more reviews and other things like that and show other people's materials and work to talk about them and review them and give them props, right? You want to be a little more careful with that when you're doing sort of more commercial ventures, right? So that is another thing we're looking at. And yes, I am going to bring back the Netherdark adventure. Many people have asked me, and so we're going to bring it back. Yes, but it will probably be a shorter saga for maybe about 10 minutes and be more encompassing. So we'll see how that progresses as well. But the next year or so of Goo Morning Zyathé, we're very excited about what we're doing. All right, cameraman, are you ready?
Well, since we're talking about new projects, instead of starting with social
do it. This is fun.
I want to talk about, these, I want to show some new prototypes. So we are revamping all of our social media. Honestly, we're doing a revamp on everything. We're revamping our website.
Revamp. I vamp a lot, as you know. Cameraman makes me do so, yes.
Yes. So we are revamping our website. We are revamping our social media. Our website will be kind of inside this feel that we're going with social media. But I thought I would show you some of our revamped social media posts or like kind of designs that we're starting with. And so here is a portrait, that shows Salvencia, Madame Salvencia.
Yes, Madame Salvencia is marvelous. She is, of course, the seeress of the Blue Veil Troop and part of the tale of the Red Star Rising campaign. Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Here's this. I'm really excited for our monster post.
Yes, the monster post. Yes. Put text here. This is a really effective social. That damn fly is flying around you right now.
These are the designs. These are the designs that we are going for. So yeah, and I honestly think that this kind of work for the monsters would be great in like Monstrica.
Oh yes.
Like popping those monsters out. Here's one with a different type of monster.
Yes.
So I love it. We have.
I hope people are liking these. I think they're going to be marvelous. Yes.
So here's like and these will be like on our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook, and then we're doing something separate for TikTok, which we're still working on. But yeah, I think it's just a fun way to show some of our artwork.
How come it doesn't say put text here, there?
Because Carrie wrote this one already.
Oh.
As an example.
Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah, exactly. And so there will be text on this as well. And here's Bluvis. Is it Bluvis?
There's Bluvis, Blevis, and
yes.
Blumis, Blevis, and anyway, I can't remember. Blumis, Blevis, and Blemis, I think is their names. Yeah.
So these are just prototypes. These are just starting to show like the examples. I wanted to get your guys' feedback on how this feel. What we really want is like an interesting way to show our art that's going to capture the imaginations of other people and show what we have to offer.
Yes, we will see how this goes. We're trying to expand the goo, as it were. Yes, which sounds kind of dirty, but it's not.
We're working on it. Okay, let's go ahead and do some like social media.
Yes, we have some fun stuff to show. Harry put up an image of Daniela.
I have
it. It's
yes,
marvelous. Yes,
it's
so many wonderful things to show today. We are so excited.
Yeah, here's that.
Oh yes. So this is of course Kaya's character in the world of Zyathé, Daniela Forgrend, and she is part of the Hindrance. This is the lore that is coming out all over the place, and the Hindrance entire job is to try to stop the three supreme consorts in Valandia, yes, of which one of them is actually her husband in real life, yes. So there's this. I don't know what happens at home at night, but I'm sure there's some difficulties at times. Right?
I doubt it.
No, I'm just kidding. No, Joshua is marvelous, and so is Kaya, and Kaya has been instrumental with Magica, along with a number of other folks, in proofreading and trying to make sure we are tight. Joshua has also helped. Obviously, Carrie has been in there, and AJ. And we've had Autumn doing a yeoman's job in there, and Maya is helping us now, which we are so thankful for. She is giving us some help, and a number of other folks who have tried to assist us. Lee gave us a little bit of time on some class stuff, and we're trying to just finalize this. In fact, this weekend I'm hoping to have it all. It's on my plate now for this weekend. And so I'm going to spend some time with it. I have one more artwork that I decided to add at the last minute. Two of them actually at the last minute, but one of them you're going to show today, which I'm really excited about. It's just beautiful. So, but we are excited about this, Harry, and thank you again, always, my friend, for the beautiful work that you do, your incredible artwork, and to bring these characters that live only in Zyathé, right? They are magnificent because they are us. You know, this is unbelievable, you know, to have so many NPCs, many of whom will be in the Gloomsport box or in the Darkenhaven box here when we get those published soon, and to have them be a part of this amazing world that is so coming to life right in front of our eyes. It's just magnificent. Harry, thank you. Appreciate you, my friend, so much.
And Harry says that it is a flower in her right hand. So
were people not wondering what that was?
He just said that you couldn't really see it from that angle.
Oh, yes.
So in the right hand, she's holding a flower, which I think is beautiful.
Yes,
so no, I absolutely love this mini, and I can't wait for our website revamp.
Yeah, because all of Harry's minis, we're going to try to get them all painted so we can show them painted. I hope Chris will do that for us, and maybe two Chris's because it's a big job. So we'll try to get those done so we can show them in all their glory. Because when they are painted up, as a professional level, they are as good as any minis that are out there. They're just magnificent things. And of course, I want a full set for the castle here. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, we do. And we'll be selling them in bundles as well.
Yes.
And so we're working on
able to get those.
Yeah, we're working on getting all that together.
And I just want to say something real quick so everybody understands. Harry does not do this for the money. Harry is doing fine in life and has actually been incredibly generous. He's donated monies to charity that we have done. He is a big supporter of Gooey Cube and has given some wonderful lore. And this next Kickstarter, one of his adventures is going to be featured in there called the Mud Mounds of Bleak Bottom Bog, which takes place in the bog, which is between Valandia and Donvan. And we are just very, very excited to carry forth with Harry and what he does here, and so appreciative that he doesn't really care. He's already told me he don't care about the money at all, and so we're gonna do our best to honor Harry in many ways we can. Harry, I know I'm probably making you turn red right now, but truly, my friend, thank you so much.
So to add to the cursed thing, the reason why the TV keeps going off is because the entire computer keeps flickering
just this is another thing, right?
Yeah.
My monitor, which is the only way that I'm able to see what's going on, and in-camera Mandy's monitors are flickering on and off. Yeah. So we think there might be a ghost. We're going to deal with it. We'll deal with it this next week. Yes. I have ways of dealing with those guys. Yes. Aha.
Okay, so we got a great post from Lance, showing off what he received in the mail. And
yes. Lance, thank you. And I hope you wear the Gooey Game Masters T-shirt with pride. We in fact, there's another thing is that we have not done it. I do not have a Gooey Grognard shirt, by the way, which I've got to have, right? I think it says something like... inclusive, inviting, and only a little grumpy, or something like that. It's a nice little. There goes the monitor again. Anyway, Lance, thank you. We love those kinds of posts to see our stuff. And apparently, a couple of folks had issues with these tubes that we mailed out some stuff in, and we're fixing that for our friends. And also, we're fixing a post person who actually folded a Genzicon in half to stick it in the mailbox.
Yes.
It's just...
Listen, if you ever get damaged merchandise...
We will take care of you.
Yes, not only will we take care of you, but if you send us the picture, we are able to file an insurance claim with USPS and reclaim the cost of both the original thing that we sent out and the one that we're sending out.
Yes, so we do our best to always... Even if we can't, that does not matter. This is not our problem, but it doesn't need to be your problem either. Yes. And so we are very pleased to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So anyway, this is marvelous. And Lance, thank you. We love this stuff. And thank you for your encouraging words in the den. If you're watching, we appreciate it more than you know. By the way, my friends, if you have not done so, because I know there's quite a few people today, it's wonderful to have such a good group. Could you give us a little follow down there on the Twitch thing?
Oh my goodness, we hit 600 subscribers on YouTube this week.
I know, is that
I'm
marvelous?
so excited.
Yes, thank you. The YouTube people have been wonderful. If you haven't done that, give us a little subscriber on YouTube. That'd be fantastic. We're working our way towards 1,000 there. I don't know if you all know this, but we're working our way to 2,000 people in the Gooey Den and almost 700 on our Discord server. And we are just growing this wonderful thing that is this community and collaborative world that we are making. And I cannot tell you, it is killing me, the weight but it is also magnificent. The Gloomport and Darkenhaven and Chapter 5 are coming. Chapter 5 is very close, surprisingly close. And these are all coming very, very soon, along with Magicka and Keith, who did this marvelous work for us on Legends, Lore, and Libations, which was a sort of a bonus thing that we gave out in the Kickstarter. All these things are getting very, very close, including Magicka. Yes, I see this, cameraman. You have put up a little bit of a table here that I put up. Yes, this is...
I think that this image just speaks loads. And I'm excited to actually talk about this more when, because after having read the Ventenium
Alunax.
Yeah, it's so easy to now understand when you talk about the corruption and everything like that. So if you guys have not already, please go read the first 20 pages of the Wy'rd World. It'll help with everything.
Listen, the Ventenium Alunax was the beginning of all things, right? Yeah. And really in the real world here, and as well as in the world there, because many of the material began, sort of in my home games and things that I've done, but there were also, early contributors, AJ and Mike, of course, and Cody and a number of other folks who came alongside of us and sort of helped to begin this lore. And I even remember how the Sarth began, and the insensitivity, their insensitiveness, their inability to harness the Zyathés. All of this stuff, and how that led into flowstones, and how flowstones became so special and interesting. And so much of this is contained in Magicka, and I think you're going to love it. And yes, there is a touching on corruption magics, even though we're going to kind of hold that off for Cyclopedia 2, right? Magicka 2, which is right now probably going to be called the Corrupted Magics, or Corrupted Magics, but it's going to contain more than that. So, and this, by the way, this Magicka book is a resource for players, not just for game masters. And some people are pushing on us to do an entire player's handbook, really much more expansive from the little guidebook that we have done, to give players a lot of wonderful background. So anyway, it's wonderful. If you have a chance, take a little peek at that. Joshua helped us with that table, and it is really, really fun. And we are really appreciative of all the contributors and folks, the essayists in Magicka. It is our most robust contributed material thus far. And it is really magnificent. I promise you're going to get it. You're going to be blown away by the artwork. You're going to be blown away by the new classes. You're going to be blown away by all the new spells. You're going to be blown away by flowstones and flowstone cores and technic artificity and how all that stuff works. It is, and fusiliers and how fusils work. I think you're going to be just astounded at the content. By the way, I think we promised it would be between 200 and 250 pages.
Oh my God, don't even say it.
We're 310 right now.
Stop it.
And I've got a couple more pages I want to add this weekend.
Gosh.
So anyway, we always want to take care of you, my friends, and it will be on the wonderful papers and materials. And by the way, for all of you, there's a small number of you who really backed us well. The leather-bound editions of West Vedestia, East Vedestia, and of course, the marvelous Magicka will soon be produced once we are done with these, along with the limited edition versions. So those of you who want to get those, we will be soon offering them. And again, once these are gone, they will never be made again in the same form or same format. So I think they are special and wonderful, and hope that those of you who have waited so patiently for these are going to be very excited to receive them. I know I am, and I know there's going to be a set sitting right here next to me, which is wonderful.
Okay.
Corruption magics.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, Zix Grand Moose. Yes, I know you are listening, Zixie. Yes, we should never play with these things. Stay away from them. Yes.
Okay, this is great because I have the final image to show, but I also love the progressions that you post. It is really cool to see how this art is created.
Well, and also, Cameramandy, I got to give some love to our friends, right? Because people are kind of voting on these things, and they're saying some wonderful things that give ideas and thoughts that we can bring to the table a little bit. And this one was overwhelmingly voted number C. Letter C was the one that was overwhelmingly voted for, which honestly was the one I leaned to. But they are all really wonderful works by this Artis Benjo, and we ended up here, right? Which is not even the full image. I posted only a snappering of it. There's more image around it, but it is. I'm just looking at it right now at the monitor myself, and I hope people love this. And fractal magics are sort of our take on this sort of unpredictable, wild magic, whatever you want to call it, right? This is our take on it. and it operates a little differently than in the 5th edition and sort of in the OGL and how all that stuff works. But it is very interesting, and we want to. And Cameraman, he's getting fly attacked right now. Cameraman, don't wave it away because it comes to me.
I know, but I don't want it either.
Little bastard.
Hey, we have some questions from the chat
Yes,
about the leather bound. Okay.
Yes.
First off, Harry had a, where did this go? Will it be necromantic or corrupted faux leather?
It will be corrupted faux leather.
I love it. Okay. Is there a leather-bound Weirded World, like the chapter 1?
So I can't remember if we did that or not.
I don't think that we did put that in the Kickstarter, but we will do it.
I think we will make a small number of them, and folks who would like to get them. And those of you who did that extra special backing in the Kickstarter, we will give you first dibs on that, because that was wonderful, your support for us. And so much money that you spent. And I hope you had wonderful times coming out here to visit and hang out. I mean, we had such a good time. We played games, and we spent the whole weekend, and we went out to eat, and we just had a wonderful time. And there was about, I think, 7 or 8 folks who did that, brought a friend, and really partied with us out here in Colorado for a weekend, which was fantabulous. And speaking of partying with us, don't forget, Genghis Khan is coming. Yes, put that in your mind. End of February, if you can make it. It is a marvelous little con, and there are tons of gooey people that come and are coming, right? Even more gooey people than last time, and there was a ton of gooey people last time. So this is kind of going to be our home con. Andrea and Donnie are marvelous. They put on a wonderful convention. We're going to do the Gooey Game Show again up there and all that kind of stuff. So just put that in your mind. That's the end of February. I think it's Genghis Khan. Look it up online and get your badge and come in and hang out with us. It is a wonderful time.
Okay, back to...
Yes, I'm sorry.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good Genghis Khan plug.
Yes, absolutely.
So if people didn't purchase it during the Kickstarter, is there a way to purchase it after?
Yes, we will make that available. I'm going to put it out there just kind of like we're doing with GenzaCon. And there will be a short-term opportunity for people to be able to get them. And I know that fly is like, he is persistent. Yes. If he lands on my coffee cup, I'm going to destroy him.
There's a whole chat in there about how we're going to put the fly in Monster Cup.
Yeah, that fly. Yes, it must be.
Yeah.
It must be the deadly fly.
Thomas is going to create a stat block for the monster
Thomas,
fly.
I am counting on you. Yes.
Anyway.
You can put it in as a submission. We will give you the credit for doing so, my friend, and the little reward, because it will go in Monstrica, which means you will get the fly image as your reward. Yes, so do it. Do it, my friend. You have permission. Yes.
Okay.
But is this, seriously, Cameramandy?
Yes.
This is magnificent. Yes, I got it, and I opened it up, and I did say, wow. That was my first response. And I love the fact that, purple kind of signifies corruption in the world of Zyathé, this pinky purple thing.
Oh, is that
right?
why my hair is purple?
And, well, you're corrupted, man. Cameraman. You've known that for many years. Yes, this is many years, But this is marvelous because fractal magics is a result of the War of Ruin. And so you can see that part of this sorcery, right, and the fractal magics that they have to deal with and all of this kind of stuff lives in a little bit in that world. So it is wonderful because it has a why, right? It really has an explanation about why it exists and what it does and all of that stuff. Again, another thing that I think you will love in Magica.
Okay, I have so many more to put social media, so we got to zip through
All right,
these.
zippy. Oh, is this? Yeah, so the next thing that we are going to do, and we're going to be announcing it here in the next 3 weeks, is the next contributors is going to begin to explore the Zayandun. Yes, which is also called the Underdelve. And this is the underplace. This is the underworld of the world of Zyathé. And part of the underworld of Zyathé is that it is maybe a little different from certain underworlds that you've thought about or experienced, because there are areas where it is very safe and very marvelous, and the roads are patrolled just like the surface world, right? And there are places where it is incredibly scary and incredibly fearful, right? And it gets a little more worse the deeper you go. It gets a little more worse the more into the wild areas of it. And of course, we have these marvelous things we call, the fly is getting me, Cameramandy. It almost landed on my face. If it lands on my face, I'm going to slap my head like, oh God, I missed it.
Are we sure it's not a fly that's actually dead? A necromancer?
A necromantic fly. It's one of the Hatters. Yes, Marcus is involved with this. I am sure, Marcus, it is you.
I am excited to...
Does that fly have a hat? My God, it does.
You know what I love about Zyathé is that you not only have a great world on top of the surface, but you have a whole world under the surface. Yes, I'm very excited to explore.
But you can see here these Illumiines, right? Which are these because the woe, after the woe, there's this. Now there's some who believe that these existed beforehand, and we have not got lore yet of the Illumiines, but we are coming close on them. But the living stone is existing in the world of Zyathé in the depths since the woe of ruin, part of the corruption of the Zyanthus, right, which is the magics of the world. And so these Illumiine are also affected by that corruption, but they cast light in the Underdelve, right? They cast light in the Zayandun, and they are magnificent. There is one in front of Strong Armageddons, and we're going to add a few more to the Gloomport because we feel like
I have the strong arms. Also, people are asking if we're going to kickstart a book on the Underdelve.
Yes, that is yes. So everyone's telling me don't do too much stuff, right? And then everybody tells me, well, do this and do that and do that. Monstrica is for sure. That is the number one that has gotten the most votes and the most enthusiasm. Monstrica is for sure. But dang it, I almost said damn it, Camramendi. Damn it, Camramendi.
Okay,
I'm a doctor,
fine.
Not a fighter, or something like that, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so I really want to start and get to Sundestia. It is a dream of mine to go there, and there's a wonderful group, Anthony and Stefan and Chris and Nick and AJ and Devin, who have really spearheaded that and came up with some marvelous things, and we have put them kind of to the side while we finished all of this stuff. But their ideas and some of the things they have brought, along with many of the things that we have brought, are going to make Sundestia very special. So this is in my mind, right? And then folks really want the Corrupted Magics book, right? They want that as well. And then lots of people want more adventures, right? So I'm even contemplating. So all of our adventures come in these slip boxes. You've seen them. They're marvelous. They're old school. They're really cool. They're kind of a little corrugation. They feel marvelous. And for the Gloomport and Darkenhaven, we're actually doing a box that is bigger. It's actually almost an inch deeper than the other boxes that we use for our adventures because there's so much more material that goes in there. I am pondering doing chapter 6 and chapter 7 as a double adventure in one box. And I'm going to ask some questions about that of the folks. So if you got thoughts on that and you like that idea, it would be more expensive. It would be maybe in the neighborhood of $110, $120, something like that, maybe a little more. And I don't know, people's appetite for that, but that would also enable us to focus on one package rather than two and finish the campaign. And that's in my mind. But
I'm so torn on that. As someone who plays the campaign, like there is that whole completion aspect of like I'm on the business side here. Like yes, absolutely, we have no time. But on the player side of it, of course, I want to see the whole complete box set, yes. All 7 boxes. And
the Dead City of Covenant, I also want to do this, because I think the Vile Desolation is magnificent and it hasn't been given enough love. It has been in my mind almost since the beginnings of Zyathé, with the undead coming to life and why, the reasons why, and all of that stuff. And then of course, Alexander helped us with that, and Kerry helped us with that, and AJ helped us with that, and we've really wonderfully expanded this lore. And the Vile Desolation is really magnificent, and the tension between Magdranog and the Vile Desolation and the Republic, and it's just a wonderful location, and of course where the things, the whole adventures begin. And then on top of that, there's about 6 adventures we want to produce that are sort of like Genzicon, right? They're sort of like, so this is all in our minds, and we're going to talk more. Harry calls me every once in a while and says, Alphinius, you're trying to do too much, and so I always appreciate you, Harry. You keep me on the straight and narrow,
True. It's true. Okay, let's zip through this.
But this is Strong Armageddons, right? Which is in the Gloomport, and you can see Elumiine there, right there. And this is just magnificent. Many have heard the tale. I hope you all love it. I hope this artwork is helping to really bring this world to life for you. It is for me. It's wonderful. This almost brings tears to my eyes.
Aww.
Goes back 30-some years, 40 years.
Okay, we have some comments. Harry says that he would keep 6 and 7 2 boxes. More people would be able to buy it because they can
it's more approachable.
Yeah, and then Thomas wants to know, would we at the end do sell the entire campaign as like a bundle?
So there is definitely a bundle thought that we would put it all together. There is also some discussion. So this is another thing that we have discussed, is taking chapters 1, 2, and 3 and putting them into a single box, right? and offering that as a less expensive alternative, because we don't have, I'm looking at Camera Mandy right now, but that would cost us less in production, right? Which would enable us to keep the prices down, but it would still cost more in totality. So we're talking about a lot of these things.
Yeah.
But you already know, if you go to our website, we offer bundles. We are doing our best to make these materials, which I believe are some of the finest that have ever been made for the game. I really do in my heart of hearts. I believe this. The passion and the care and the love and the desire for great stories is beyond that. And then, you know, we have this wonderful partner in Alex, who spends so much time trying to make sure we get great paper and great material, and that the production values are good and all of that stuff. And so our goal is to continue to keep that going. But Strong Armageddons, I hope many of you will adventure there. There are many tales to come in the Gloomport about Strong Armageddons, indeed.
I totally agree. And we're just going to keep pushing, because we got to...
Keep pushing.
I know. There was so much good stuff in the den. Okay.
Oh, y'all put some wonderful things up. Like Michelle put that up. That was magnificent.
This one was Jen.
Oh, is this Jen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jen put this up. Because
And this is when you need to go watch on your actual phone, because it's one of those 3D... Me and Adam had so much fun.
when you're moving the mouse around, right? The face is moving. I mean, it was incredible. It was like really, really good.
This is from artist named Bonifasco. So
and it is really wonderful.
Really good. So please go check that out. This is from Kevin.
Yes, Kevin, this is magnificent. This is beautiful. You know, and this is our real world. Camera Mandy, go ahead. You were going to say something.
I know. Well, I would love to meet this in the Underdelve, and not even in water. Like, could you just imagine this floating around?
Yes.
I'm just saying. I think that would be...
In the far deep. Yes, which is the far down. Yes, it's down there.
And there's something about this, it feels conversational. Like, it looks like it's talking.
Yes,
I don't know.
It's like, hello, do you like my bedazzledness?
Exactly.
Oh, it is the Alpharbio of the Squidward. Yes,
Love it. Okay, so this is from AJ Pop.
AJ.
Yes, it's a new system of creating dice. I believe it's in a prototype right now. Basically,
but people will be able to custom, right?
Yeah, they'd be able to make their own dice, or design their own dice and have it printed and shipped to them.
Who doesn't like that idea?
And that is from
you dice crazy people out there.
Yeah, that is from Level Up.
Yes, Level Up Dice is magnificent, by the way. We love them. We think they're fantastic.
This is a cool tip from Jim that I'm actually going to try. So it says, if you mix Elmer's glue with a couple of drops of food coloring and paint it on anything glass, it will create a sea glass effect. And as you, like, we have, like, if you hold up that jar, like, right in front of you.
Yes, right here.
Yeah, so we've actually put it right in front of your face, because you're, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of curious to try this this thing on some jars. Maybe we get some new jars in Alphinius' office.
Ooh, what is in there, Camera Mandy? That's a bad potion.
Well, you're the potion maker, so... this is from...
yes, Zap put this up. He likes to be called Zap, not Mike, so we call him Zap. Yes, this is on his porch, right? And year round. So there's other pictures of this. I don't know if you put them up, Camera Mandy, but apparently this is here year round. It's not just for All Hallows Eve, as they say. Yes, this is for year round. And they actually put, the neighbors come by and put other things on this, like bunny ears for Easter, right? And hats. And it's just a fun little thing for their neighborhood. So that's kind of cool.
So Michelle posted this creepy nightmare. Or no, sorry, this was Christina who posted this.
Yes, Christina put this up, and it was ooh, it was yes.
I want a stat block for that thing.
Yeah, well, these apparently are these things it puts out to push out the pheromones and, you know, to attract, you know, some love in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Did they compare sizes of pheromone producers or anything? Goodness gracious, I just trended into a bad place there, Camera Mandy, didn't I?
It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay.
Shh, cut that out.
So this is from It's another 3D thing, but what I loved was tell us what stories or rumors have you heard about these two characters while visiting Strong Armageddons, and I loved this response.
Father Jiki was seen trying to place a hat along the bare head of Alphinius Goo. There was a tumultuous scuffle and both have been banned for a month. There are rumors that Alfabio put Father Jiki up to the deed. Yes.
Thank you, David. That gave me a good laugh.
Yes, David is magnificent. Well, you know, the thing is, again, you know, Father Jiki has the Blue Pearl Sanctuary, and this is our marvelous friend Geeky, and the Blue Pearl Sanctuary, along with Tish, right, his dear wife, and they are down. They have the Blue Pearl Sanctuary, and Father Jiki is a character in the Gloomport that you are going to meet in the Gloomport, and your players are going to be able to interact with Father Jiki, and of course, you know, hopefully yours truly as well. So that, by the way, Geeky, I think, has that portrait. That's a pretty special portrait, and the reason why that's kind of special is because we changed up the portrait relatively early on to the new pipe. And so there are very few of those images left that are out there with the old pipe versus the new pipe.
Oh, I hadn't even noticed.
Yes.
That's a good point.
And I just want to reassure everyone that all of these signed things are worth absolutely nothing, right? But you never know.
This is quite big.
Oh, yes, our marvelous friends, Plots and Dark and Haven. Yes, this is the Misfits. We love the Misfits. They are doing a marvelous little stream that run in Dark and Haven. We encourage you to check them out. Some beautiful artworks there of their characters. I especially love the Soth. I think it is a magnificent image. And anyway, we are excited to see how Plots and Dark and Haven continues to fare. So check out the Misfits, the Tabletop Misfits on Twitch. And tomorrow night, Sunday nights, yes. Yeah. So make sure you check that out.
Okay, and last one. This is from Paul. This is a beautiful constructed.
Oh my goodness!
I love the sky in the background. I love the texture of everything. I love the height. I thought this was wonderful.
Paul, I have to tell you, I have met few in my life that are crazy obsessed with the dwarven forge materials like you. Yes. You and I are simpatico, my friend. Yes, I have spent so much ridiculous amounts of money. Dianea Goo is not happy with me on a consistent basis. It consumes the entirety of our downstairs. Yes, you are marvelous. I love people who are obsessed like I am with this madness. Yes, and we will continue to post images from our home game of our stuff as well. But we want to encourage you, Paul, please show your builds. And others, we love to see these builds. And they don't have to be all like massively Dwarven Forge enhanced. There are so many people with talents who, like Nate, who makes all of his terrain by hand. You know, there are so many of you who put this stuff up and we love to see them. All right.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the
book club
portion of this.
Yes.
Okay, so
Camera Mandy has promised me that she will get me some interesting spectacles so that you don't have to put up with these. Just,
I like them.
Yeah, they don't really fit. You know, they kind of expand, you know, kind of a fat head kind of thing going on.
Goodness.
Yes, but I have to wear spectacles in order to read from the book because, you know, I'm a little advanced in my age now.
Why don't you hold up the book and show people what we're talking about?
So this is the Wy'rd world, and yes, there is a pause there. And that's very important for people to know. This is why the pauses exist in the language of the world of Zyathé. So when you see two U's together, for example, like in Thu'ul, it is not Thu'ul, it is Thu'ul, is how it is pronounced, right? So you give a little pause there. So in this case, it is not the Wy'rd world, it is the Wy'rd world. And Wy'rd means corrupted in some ways, right? And so this is the foundational things that we tried to do to really make Zyathé feel like it is real, is to carry it into language and carry it into song and carry it into lore. And, you know, perhaps someday yours truly might write a novel in this world. And I'm looking forward to that day.
Ooh,
it is in my heart.
I would love that.
It is in my heart to do so. And part of that was making it foundationally realistic, fantastically real, right? And that is the battle that we always face, which is why sometimes if I push back on you on a contribution or something like that, it is only because we are trying to maintain the integrity of the world that we have founded together. And that is the goal. So this is the Wy'rd World, Encyclopedia Zyatheka Volume 1, made in 2018 and sold for the first time at Gen Con in 2019. And in the beginning of the book, there is a section called the historical account, right? The historical account of the Wy'rd world. And it is taken from a book, which I have written more of, it's just never been published, called the Ventenium Alunax. And the Ventenium Alunax sort of chronicles the history of all that became once Avo'Va determined to speak the way of all things, right? And so this is the magic of the world, is that it has a history that is really well defined and understandable. And it is a tumultuous history and a fearful history, but it is also a marvelous history for an adventure that you'll take your players on. So, Camera Mandy, what would you like me to do? You want to read just the first little section? Is that what you'd like me to do? And then we dive into this? Is that the plan?
Sure. Let's read it.
All right, my friends. So Camera Mandy has also roped me in. I am going to read the entire section of this, and we're going to put it up in a little thing, right? We're going to not now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes,
just to be clear, we are doing it in podcast format.
Yes. So people who want to get this, and people who have not heard this, but this is a pretty good accord, and I think Camera Mandy, you read it for the first time. Really read it, right?
Yeah, for the first time last
night. And you loved it, yes?
Now I've listened to you read this like 3 times, but for the first time last night, I read all 20 pages. I was only going to read the first 5, but I was like, this is so good.
She got caught up.
I did. I have, and I also marked up my book. I did the unthinkable.
Notes. It's like you're in college.
Yeah, here, you should show mine.
Here, let me see this, Camera Mandy. Oh, I don't want to tear it. Look at the construction. It does not fall apart. Yes, look at that. It's marvelous. Look at Camera Mandy's crazy notes. It says, bug Alphinius here. Really?
Anyway, all right, go ahead.
All right, I shall begin with the beginning, and then we will do the book club.
Okay.
This is short, my friends, but it is marvelous. In the beginning of all, before anything existed, there was only Avovar, the dreamer of the first dream. Avovar had always been and would always be. This was his lot. For eons he had slept alone in the nothingness, but when he awoke from his slumber, the dream remained. It lit his consciousness, colored his imagination, and gave vision to all that he would soon bring into being. 'Tis then that Avovar spoke the way of all things, which is the law that makes all creation possible, and following that, shaped the forces that would imbue every aspect of that which was to come. He named this energy the Zyathé, which is also called the Everflow, and infused it, along with the 4 elements, into the emptiness of the void. Thus began the great making. Raw, unbridled power of unimaginable magnitude tore through the nothingness, thundering and shaking and careening in the void space as no thing had done before, nor would ever do again. It was the cataclysm of creation, and all that came to be was born of this. But not everything was as the dreamer intended. Yes, Camera Mandy, I'm still pleased with this, even after all these years, yes. So, Camera Mandy, you were the one who wants to kind of guide this, but the plan is we're going to tell folks this week what we're going to read next week. And you are most welcome to sort of delve into that a little bit. And then hopefully the way we've got everything set up, Camera Mandy's phone is working. I don't forget my phone. We don't have a cursed fly flying around. The monitor isn't flickering on and off, and other strange things are going on, right? Like this thing going on and off. Anyway, so when we have all that, we will actually bring some folks onto the show every week. And if you're interested in being on the stream and you'd like to be part of the book club, we want to know, because we want to bring you on remotely, and you'll be part of the discussion for the book club. Right, Camera Mandy? That's the plan, yes?
And
all right.
Even if you can't do it live, if you guys read the section that we're talking about and want to contribute some ideas or some questions, you could just shoot me over a video clip of like a little cell phone video even, and just shoot us over a video clip of you asking the question, like around like no less or no more than like a minute or so, and then we can play it and then talk.
Really, questions and little thoughts. So 30 seconds is great, and those are good sound bites that we can put up. And it's really easy, right? Just put the dang phone up there if you have a phone, right? Or if your phone isn't broken, right? So if you have, hopefully one of those 2 things you're not experiencing, right? Neither of those things actually. And you just take a little quick video and you can send it to Camera Mandy, and we'll put you up that way too. So this is the idea of the book club. Hope people like it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And for people who love the lore, I think this is going to add to the lore.
Or you can also just message us the question.
Yes, and that's what we're planning on right now, because as we're going through this, you are most welcome to message a question or a thought or an idea. Camera Mandy's keeping her eye on that stuff. And then I have this idea about doing a giveaway.
Yes, unfortunately, we won't be able to do it today. Just remember that.
We can.
Oh, that's right. You do have that idea. What is that idea?
You don't need to be in the Twitch to announce the winner. You just need to tell them what they need to put in, and then we can run it after the show.
Oh, can we?
Yes, of course. Can't you run it later? Can't you run it after the fact?
I don't think so.
Really?
I mean, I'd have to do it manually.
Manually?
Yeah,
We
I can
could
do that.
We can do that. How many people watching today?
Hashtag book club.
Hashtag book club.
And since we're doing it manually, you can do it on Facebook or on Twitch.
Yes, Facebook people, you get your chance. This is it. You can have a chance to win something. What are we giving away?
How about what?
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Well, what do you think if we give away, seriously now, a Wy'rd world?
Oh, wow. That is a big, I like it. I think we should.
We are doing it right now,
right? We are
right?
doing it,
And
yeah.
so, yes, and I know some of you have gotten a Wy'rd world before. We will,
and this will be a signed
we
Wy'rd
will
world.
sign this one.
Yes.
Yes, how about that? We will, and what did I tell you about that earlier? It's worth absolutely nothing, but you never know.
Yes, indeed.
Let's do that.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so everyone, we will not have a winner today. I will announce it on Monday.
Hashtag Book Club.
But that also means anyone who's watching this in the future.
Yeah, in the future. Tell your friends. Watch it. Watch it.
Yeah.
So can they do it on YouTube as well?
No, because it won't be up on YouTube yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It takes 7 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to post it on Monday.
Yeah, but so to take, okay, not on YouTube. Facebook,
Facebook.
Twitch. If you watch it
Yes.
again, you can still put stuff in the chat, right? When you're watching it not live, is that correct?
On Facebook, and if you watch this live on Twitch, just send me a message and say I watched on Twitch.
Okay, there you go, everybody. And make sure that you have gone in and registered yourself in gooeycube.com/giveaways.
Nope, gooeycube.com/prizes.
Oh, sorry, prizes.
It's
Totally
okay.
screwed that up.
The prizes thing.
gooeycube.com/prizes. And the reason why we do that is so Camera Mandy has it easy and others have it easy to fulfill your prizes. All right?
Yep.
So go in there, fill that dang thing out, gooeycube.com/prizes. And then we will be able to make sure when you win, because we give away stuff every week, pretty much, right, Camera Mandy? So, if you watch the show and you hang out and you enjoy the snarky comments that some people throw up in the chat, I do, yes, except for you, Marcus. Yes, and your fly with the little hat flying around. I'm disturbed. So anyway, so Camera Mandy, you want to start this little book club out? And please, friends, ask questions, throw out ideas in the chat. We'll do our best to answer them quickly and give some more breath and life to the lore.
Yeah, and if you are interested in seeing anything in this book club, please let me know. Right now I just have some notes because we literally came up with this idea yesterday.
Yeah, well, we've been thinking about how to do it, right? This was
yes.
the idea, because people have been asking, because we have a lot of lore, and it is a lot, and I admit it, and the books can be intimidating, right?
And I'm just going to say that it doesn't make it a little bit easier. It does not make it easier that things have 5 names.
So my friends, I just want you to understand something. The reason why we tend to use multiple names is, first of all, repetition in writing can be boring, right? So if you say the Zyathés every time you say magic, right, that kind of gets boring. So being able to say the Zyathés, being able to say the Everflow, being able to say the flow, right, which is normal if you think about human beings, right? We shorten things, we do all this kind of stuff. And then, be able to say those 3 different things, make it a little less repetitious when you're writing about it. But beyond that, it also makes it feel more real, right? So the Zyathún, which is also called the Underdelve, which is also can be called the Far Deep, even though the Far Deep really describes the lower areas. So we'll get more into that as we delve into the Underdelve, so to speak, in the future. All right, Camera Mandy, let us do it.
Okay, I have a question from Stacey right off the bat.
Stacy, hello, my friend.
Okay, so chapter...
And Stacy's going to be on the show here pretty soon, right? We're getting that pulled together?
Once I need to finish the studio.
Nama Stacy. Yes, I love that.
Okay. Adam points out that Monday is a holiday, so we should do the drawing on Tuesday.
Drawing will be done on Tuesday, so you have an extra day to fart around and put in hashtag book club in the Facebook, right?
Okay, here's Stacy's question. Chapter 1 speaks to a comprehensive listing of smoking leaves in World West Verdestia.
Yes.
I have not been able to find it in Wy'rd World 1. Where would this list be found?
So the truth of the matter is that we had intended to put this together. I actually have it. We wanted to do a whole little tome on material components, pipe leaves and weeds, and and there's all kinds of them. There's waffle wens, there's Sundestian red. There's so many wonderful pipe leaves and weeds, and truth is, Stacy, there's been so much stuff we've been doing. I just haven't gotten to it, but it needs to get done. And I will put it on the list, and I will enhance its delivery because it needs to get delivered.
The list.
Oh, this is when the Camera Mandy has it on the list. You get dogged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She's like a hound dog with a bone when she wants something. She won't let it go. Yes, never.
Take a deep breath.
The damn fly.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, here are some of my questions. Okay, so first off, the Eterniverse is is like a solar system?
It's like the universe.
Okay.
It is like all-encompassing of all of the planets, the solar systems, the various galaxies, and all of that stuff that exists out there is similar to our world in that regard. So the Eterniverse is all of that.
Okay, and then does that mean that there's more planets out there like Zyathé that with life
Cameramandi
on them?
You know that is a tale still in the telling.
I did not know.
Yes.
I mean, I
there
know
are many people who want us to kind of move in the future a little bit towards the sort of the planescape thing, right? And certainly we have denoted very clearly in some of our materials that in particular in West Verdestia, that the Eterns are rumored to at least have had one skyship called Galganeth that apparently was able to reach beyond the gravitational pull, if you will, of Zyathé. So if you haven't read about that, it's magnificent. It is a wonderful image as well of Galganoth that is in the West Verdestia tome.
by talking about the Eterns who are moving ahead in the book club.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so the way of all things. Do you have any like specifications on what this is?
So many have talked about this, and we have talked about it a little bit in the past. So there are 13 known cycles of magic, at least if the rumors of what happened before the woe are true. The 10th, 11th, and 12th cycles, which are the most powerful spells that were ever contrived, right, are magnificent and totally unattainable now because of the corruption of the Zyathés and the fact that the flow was broken, was pulled apart into 3 separate flows, which is something that is to come, which we will speak about later in the book club. But because of these factors, the Zyathés is now not as powerful as it once was, and spells of the 10th, 11th, and 12th cycles are no longer achievable. The spell that Galcianthros is said to have cast is a 12th cycle spell that is only theorized. They don't even know the mechanacia of it, right? The formulae. And it is called the Unmaking. And this spell is probably the most powerful of the 12th cycle spells. But there is a 13th cycle. It contains one spell. It is called the Way of All Things. And that is what Avova spoke when the making was begun. Is that not marvelous, Cameramandi?
It is. I love reading about this.
Yes, the way of all things, yes. And so that's why when you see things like all things capitalized in certain places, this is why, because it is referring back to the making and the creation.
So, okay, so you have like a little forward here before we start into the history.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, so you say that.
By the way, are folks liking this? Is this because this is really this is a kind of a test? And if you're enjoying it, please put a little note in there, say yes. And honestly, if you think this is kind of boring, we'd like to hear that too. Honestly, because we want this stream to be fun for everyone. We're doing our best to really vamp it up, and as Cameramandi said, revamp it and make it even more fun. We think a lot of people are having fun. I'm loving Saturday mornings now. So if we need to do other things, or if you have other ideas, we want to hear them.
And
please,
you can always,
please.
If you don't want to put it in chat, because you don't want to like be like, you guys suck.
Yeah, you don't want to be
chat.
the downer.
Yeah.
You know, yes.
You can always message us privately, and as long as you are kind with your criticism, we love it.
Even if you're not kind, just give it to us.
Send all the not kind
you
criticism to
dirtbags,
Alphinius.
you suck. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so in the forward, you mentioned that it's the year 1212 SC. So I'm curious what SC stands for.
SC stands for Sulionic Constant. And it is the form of keeping time. If you read in the Wy'rd World, I believe it is chapter 3, which is the cosmology and the keeping of time. I believe it is chapter 3. I need to check here just to make sure. Yes, the cosmology and the counting of days, which I believe is chapter 3, and it begins, it's right here. And in here, it will explain how the calendar was changed by the woe of ruin, how time was actually affected, many things that are quite interesting, how Zaragost now exists, the dark moon that is quite interesting, why the red star perhaps has even appeared. So there's lots of cool stuff in the cosmology and counting of days. So there's even a clack, right, which is this sort of what's gone on before, which is fun to read. So if you check that out, you will find out that that stands for Sulionic constant. And if it was a year prior to the SC, right, which is before the woe, it is BW, which is of course before woe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that this world has been around for millennia, and then
Yes.
it's kind of similar to the way that our world is, and that our history is only so far documented back. So, you know, the history
Yes,
of
and Cameron, I'm sorry, please go.
No. That,
And the history is affected by the woe because so many things were destroyed, so many libraries, so much institutional knowledge, if you want to call it that, of the world, right? And so the woe really set the entire, if you want to call it this, it set them back to the Stone Age. And in fact, you know, magic was, in the early times, people barely even practiced it. There was so much fear after the War of Ruin by practitioners, right? Magists and sorcerers. These people were persecuted in the post-woe time. You know, they were considered to be an anathema, and even still to this day, there is much prejudice towards those who use these magistrations, right? The casting of spells. And so this is what's created such an interesting, you know, thing going on, right? And that was the goal, right, of the storytelling, was to create this.
on that note, I really like the sentence that you had about Thorvin Galarak, who bent his...
Read it real quick so everyone can hear.
With some chronicles from the infancy of the mortal races were spotty and difficult to decipher at best, the efforts of the Athernic archmaid Thorvin Galarak who bent his considerable... I'm terrible at reading. I don't know why.
Come on, cameraman.
Who bent his considerable magical talents towards the study and manipulation of time, produced a far clearer picture of the Wy'rd world's tumultuous history and filled in many of the archival gaps during the darker ages of the past.
Yes. So some of the Athernic, you know, the Athernic mages survived, right? They didn't all die, right? So and some of them were very much opposed to Galsianthros and the groups that were doing this stuff, you know, the things that were going on. In fact, the dwarves and other peoples, for the most part, actually left the Athernic Empire before the Woe of Ruin because of this playing around with the nether flow that would existed in that time, right? And so there was a lot of consternation prior to the woe. Perhaps someday we will even go back and visit the times of the Atherns, which is very exciting to ponder.
I have some like cool pictures here.
Oh yeah,
that
put
I'd
them
like
up.
to share.
Yes, let's do that.
I know that we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves when we're talking about.
But what about
Atherns.
questions? Have anybody in the chat got any questions? Or
Kentori wants to know if there's an equivalent to dinosaurs.
So the world prior to the woe, and right now this is where the lore kind of lives, is that most of the monsters, the real true monsters, sort of came into being as part of the corruption of the Zyathés. So there was creatures and monsters, right? From a dinosaur standpoint, we are looking at that. We have not actually formulated the finality. I love them, by the way. I love the idea of them, and having a prehistoric world.
Oh my God, that was Kim and Nora. Oh my God. We are revisiting the Kentori Kim and Nora. Kim and Nora was the one who asked it. Christina. Oh my God.
How do I remember handles and you don't, cameraman? You're so young.
I'm going to
Hello,
crawl
Christina.
under the desk. I'm going to crawl under the desk and just die a little bit. Okay,
So,
that's
but
fine.
no, this is being discussed about how would we do a prehistoric sort of Zyathé as sort of the peoples that were created by the gods sort of began their journey and learning and growing and all of that stuff. And so there is some talk about that. We actually want to have sort of places where prehistory may still hold sway. There is some thoughts of the jungles of Zustrenia and the jungles of Sundestia that are very primordial in their structures, that we might have some of these sort of prehistoric beasts that survived. So and maybe some of them were corrupted right after the woe. We think it adds a lot of interestingness to it. So hopefully people like that, but we are definitely looking at that as we continue to flesh out the history.
So this image here is in the future. This is after the events of...
So this is the Athernic Empire right here,
yes.
Right? So this is pre-woe, and this gives you an idea of honestly some of the lesser, the lesser world, right? And actually in this artwork...
This is pre-woe, but is this post... the first event. What was?
Oh yes, of course, the Gods' War.
So it was in between the Gods' War and
so the Gods' War happened when the four lords of corruption came into being. We'll read more about that as we continue in the book club. But the four lords of corruption came into being and caused the Nether War or the Gods' War. And this is where Avo-Vas sacrificed himself, merged his essence with the Everflow, the Zyathé, the magic of the world, right? And merged his essence into that. Was able to put the corruption lords in this prison called the Never Place, and was actually able to stop the horrible corruption of the world and the Eterniverse. But more than that, the merging of Avo-Vas' essence into the flow, which was one flow at that time.
You know, next to the Never Place, where you say a prison where they could be no escape, I literally wrote, really, we will see.
Yes, well, we will see as we read in the book. Because in the Ventenium Alunax, it speaks to this as well.
Yes.
But here's the thing. So they are imprisoned. Avo-Vas' essence is now in the Everflow, and the Everflow is more powerful than it has ever been. So even before the Gods' War, because Avo-Vas took his essence and put it in there, right? This is the beginnings of the Etheric civilization, as they began to understand that spells of the 10th, 11th, and 12th cycles were much more attainable following Avo-Vas' sacrifice. And so this is when the flying cities, actually in that previous image that you have there, which shows, I believe, Resplensia, I actually wanted, and still am probably going to do it, to have a flying city in the sky. So I'm probably going to have this artwork retouched a little bit and add a little bit of added to it.
Oh.
Because I think it'd be wonderful to have maybe Eternivis, or maybe Amasthal, or one of Eternivius, excuse me, or maybe Amasthal, or one of the others in the sky, flying above, or maybe even Galganeth, or perhaps both.
And then like a note on that too, like, because like again, this is kind of where some of the names get a little confusing. So where's Resplendia on the map?
So Resplensia.
Like, what is it now?
Is Crooks.
Oh, okay. So if you look,
Resplensia is right here in the center. Oh, yes, you have it up. So I will do that. I will not even deal with that. So Resplensia was the continent of the Eterns. This was where all of their magics and all of their empire was centered. And they had pretty much everything they needed there. Their population was not so huge that they had to go to other places, even though they technically pretty much conquered most of the world, right? Not the entirety of it, right? This is how the Orachanoids ended up in Nordruka, and they were really oppressed. And this explains their anger and frustration towards those who really they blame, even though they were not to blame anymore, right? This is where the Oni and others in Estrenia will come into play when we go there. This is where other mythological beings, the giants, were sort of part of the empire, then they were not. So there's much more lore to come. But in the center of the world was, at least on the map, was Resplensia. And this is where all of their magic was focused. And when the Woe of Ruin happened and the magics were corrupted, of course, Crooks suffered unlike any other place on the face of the planet. Resplensia was cast down. And now this is the most fearful locality, without question, in the entirety of the world. But it also might hold the secrets of how to save the world from the corruption that is destroying it. So we will see as the tales continue, but someday we are going to visit Crooks. Indeed we are. Well, indeed we are.
I have two things. First off, we are over our time.
Oh, yes.
By 5 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. I'm
really
sorry,
got
my
talking,
friends.
yes.
But are people enjoying this? Are we getting good feedback?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, please send us messages if you like this idea and if you want to hear more of it.
Okay.
And then secondly, I think it'd be awesome to make a map of the world before the Woe of Ruin.
Oh, yeah. That would be wonderful to do that, to show it. Yes, yes, yes. So my friends, since we are at the end, we hope you enjoyed this. We would love to get your feedback about it, right? If you want to be part of the book club, give a little read to the first, few sections of the Ventenium Alunax in your rdedworld encyclopedia.
I mean, and read the first 20 pages of the book and send us some thoughts on
that. Do that.
Yes.
So, yes, read the first. There's a lot in there, but this is the history, and this is what we're going to kind of go through and expand on the lore and do what Camera Mandy was doing there. So I hope you all love this. I hope this is fun. If it's not, let us know, and we will adjust. We can shorten it up, not do as much on the book club. Like I said, there's other things we're going to add. We typically won't do as much social media as we did this last time. But thank you for every Saturday that you come and join us. I love having coffee with you. Camera Mandy loves having coffee with you, and all the snarky and fun comments in the chat. And please have a wonderful rest of your Labor Day weekend. Put your labors to the side a little bit. And anything else, Camera Mandy, you want to let people know about before we say good day?
First off, I love Kiminora and Kintori, and I saw their scheming in the comments. Second off, to Thomas, it was the first 20 pages of The Wy'rd World.
The Wy'rd World, yes, this book right here.
We just appreciate you so much.
We do indeed, my friends. So, to the next year of Gooey Cube and all we are doing together, to the explorations of the Underdelve that is coming, to the next Kickstarter and some other fun things like a little fun subscription service, to giving more people an opportunity to write and contribute to the world, and to all your adventures being sticky, my friends. Cheers! Ha ha!